Mexico's current president, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, declaring victory overnight. The election also happening across the U.S., with 20 Mexican consulates allowing voters to cast ballots.
As a young adult, it is really exciting to come vote for my own country.
In Mexico, some voters waiting hours at polling locations.
I think it's a necessary change, and it's a good sign of progress as a society.
Mexico has made history, and they did so over the weekend by electing Claudia Sheinbaum, the country's first female president. She's also the country's first Jewish president. And that makes me want to immediately jump to a hilarious misconception that was uttered by a member of the Democratic Majority for Israel. Let's skip ahead to that. Let's go to the graphic by Todd Richmond, who says, important to note that she is not involved in the Jewish community and thanked Jesus for her victory. Interesting. Could it be that maybe she thanked Jesus because Jesus is the name of her husband? Which you can easily find on Wikipedia. Jesus Maria Tariba is the name of her husband.
And besides which, Mexico's mainly Christian, so
like,
I mean, look.
Can you freaking imagine that that's what that is where your head immediately goes to? Oh, she thanked. By the way, what if she actually did thank Jesus Christ? Who cares?
So what? So what? Look, we should be celebrating a number of things. Number one, first female president of Mexico. That's awesome, and they beat us to the punch. By the way, half of their Congress is women, way better than ours. A third of their governors are women, way better than ours. The first Jewish president of Mexico. That's awesome.
Impressive, yeah.
Yeah, that's terrific. And look at the wonderfully open-minded Christians in Mexico who said, yeah, we're happy to have a female Jewish leader.
Consider the fact that Mexico did not give women the right to vote until 1953. Okay, so decades after the United States had done so, but they have obviously lapped us by electing the first female president in their country. I don't know if that's gonna happen anytime soon here in the United States, but nonetheless, I mean, it's not just the fact that, she's a woman, it's not just the fact that she's Jewish, it's also what she stands for that is appealing to the majority of voters. She easily won. It was, I mean, it wasn't even a question. 58% of the vote went toward her. Sheinbaum appeared likely to surpass even the massive number of votes President Andrés Manuel López Obrador received in 2018. By the way, she's a protege of his. And she defeated her top rival, Xochitl Galvez, by a 2-to-1 margin. So that's a pretty big deal. It's not a contested election, she won easily.
Yeah, guys, the biggest news story out of this, though, I don't think is that it's a woman president, Jewish president, et cetera. It's what she stands for. See, when you give people what they want, they're perfectly happy to vote for any race, religion, et cetera. In fact, a lot of people forget this. Barack Obama had an 83% approval rating here in America. And yes, his name was Barack Hussein Obama. America elected him twice and gave him a massive approval rating when they thought he was going to do the things that they were in favor of, okay? So in her case, why was she so popular? Well, that's because her predecessor, who's her mentor, tripled the minimum wage. He increased funding for taking care of senior citizens. He actually looked out for the average Mexican citizen. I know that comes as a shock to American politicians who've never once considered the idea, helping the average person. Well, how would my donors benefit from that? So since Mexico is not run by legalized bribery, and we are, our politicians never represent us. That's why they're never this popular. Like Obama got to 83% when he ran the campaign on change and hope. The minute he let go of all of those things and started serving the donors again, like every Republican and every Democrat does, he lost his popularity. So it's actually not that complicated at all. Do exactly as they did in Mexico, and you'll win by 2-to-1 margin. You won't have to worry about swing states or anything. And this is all relatively recent. It's not like they had this giant advantage. This party only came out 13 years ago.
Exactly.
And already they're dominating. And that's because they actually, for the first time, delivered.
And with her election, this party is going to continue dominating for at least another 6 years. And she ran on a platform similar to that of AMLO's. That's the nickname for now the the outgoing president. She promised to expand the social programs created by Lopez Obrador. She pledged to maintain the North American Free Trade Treaty when it comes up for renegotiation in 2026, but said the economic changes of recent decades have created starvation wages. And just to give you a statement from one of the voters who supported her, this is Rogelio Librado Galicia, who's 45 years old, a Mexico City engineer. By the way, she was also the mayor of Mexico City previously. Well, this guy voted for Sheinbaum saying, I'm not saying this government doesn't rob, they all rob, but they've distributed money to the poor, unlike other parties that just steal for themselves. I like that comment because he's not like overly enamored by any political group. He's very realistic about some of the flaws, even with the political party that he's currently supporting. But he's noting what it is, what characteristic he finds in this party, the Morena party, that he favors, that he likes. And it's the fact that there is a redistribution of wealth that's very much necessary considering the conditions that those living in poverty are experiencing in Mexico.
So one of our members on Twitch wrote in, Old Boss 43, all the old political parties in Mexico united to try to beat the new one, Morena, that came into power. That's one example that we can beat the establishment if we're able to enlighten some on the right. The reason I read that comment is because it goes exactly in the direction that I wanted to go in. And I think they're absolutely right. Guys, look at how simple it is to get, remember, it's not like Mexico always got 2-1. Morena has only been around for 13 years, and they did not get 2-1 margins in the beginning. Nobody got 2-1 margins. They got that through simply doing these policy proposals. So and what they did was they converted a lot of the right wing. You don't get to 2-1 advantage without converting tons of independents and right wingers. They're a very left wing party, which by the way goes to exactly what I said in the book, Justice is Coming. It's exactly what we've been saying on the show all the time. As long as you have a progressive populace that delivers, you're gonna sweep out both the establishment and the fake populist right that's represented by Trump. But you gotta deliver. So there are two choices right now for the Democratic Party, and you know which one they always take. One is do as Morena did and deliver, and it doesn't take much. Increase the minimum wage and increase Social Security. Boom, that'll probably do it in and of itself. That's just 2 out of dozens of proposals that they could do. Or stick with stupid establishment candidates who are in favor of the status quo and corporate rule. Now, which one do you think the Democrats here in America have taken? Stick with the status quo and corporate rule, even though Americans hate the establishment. In fact, everyone across the world hates the establishment.
So I want to just at least briefly discuss what the critics are saying about her and about AMLO. The big argument against AMLO was that he was engaging in undemocratic behavior. And one of the efforts that's noted was the possibility of having the Supreme Court in Mexico chosen by popular vote, as opposed to having government officials handpick who's going to be on the Supreme Court. How is that undemocratic exactly?
Yeah, no, it's the opposite.
So it's using democracy through a popular vote to decide who the Supreme Court justices or the Supreme Court judges are in this case.
So in terms of that specific proposal, I have no opinion because I think that it's both systems, the politicians picking them and it being an election creates different upsides and downsides. But that's not the point. The point is, look at this new thing. You know how when Trump started saying fake news, right-wing despots across the world started saying fake news, right? Duterte in the Philippines, Erdogan in Turkey immediately picked it up, Netanyahu in Israel, they were all like, and Putin, fake news, fake news, fake news, right? Now, there's a new talking point spread by Biden and the Democrats. Anyone who's your opponent is against democracy. Now, look, in Trump's case, I think it's true. I've explained it 100 times. But look at them so easily using that same talking point when a left-wing populist movement challenges the rich and powerful in that country. All of a sudden, you're against democracy. No way, okay. Well, why are they against democracy? Because they want democratic elections for Supreme Court.
It's insane.
Wait, do you guys even understand the meaning of words?
Yeah. The other criticism is that she, along with Lopez Obrador, are too critical of business owners and of the rich, which obviously these are individuals who feel attacked because there's a real effort to redistribute wealth in Mexico, and they obviously don't like that. But in regard to trying to consolidate power and engage in undemocratic behavior, Sheinbaum tried to assure critics that she would not use her mandate to concentrate power. Quote, "We're Democrats, and by conviction, we would never establish an authoritarian or repressive government." And obviously by Democrats, she means they believe in a democratic system of government, not Democrat as in Republicans versus Democrats.
Yeah. All right, now back finally to the historic nature of this. So Israel has elected a female prime minister. Turkey has elected a female prime minister. Germany has, now Mexico has, and on the list goes. But America, nope, still not there yet.
Yeah.
Can we please let go of the stupid preconceived notions? Just pick the best candidate, whether they're a man or a woman.
Agreed with that statement fully, yeah.
Yeah, no matter what race they are, no matter what religion they are, and deliver for the people and have them pick you no matter what your race or religion is. It's not complicated. The only reason the Democrats don't do it here is because they're getting bribed by their donors. The Republicans are always the party of the rich and powerful anyway, so they're happy to go along. Let's do a little bit more like Mexico did in this particular case and actually improve the living standards, and you'll get the results that you want then. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it.